Welcome back. My name is Jenny. Today we are going to learn about how to answer IELTS speaking questions.
In Part 2, one of the challenging aspects of Part 2 is the huge number of potential topics. Naturally, with such a wide range of topics, every candidate has certain topic areas that he or she is comfortable with, and others that they find more difficult. Instead of making a huge list of Part 2 topics, it is easier to put all of the topics into groups or categories. The most obvious categories are as follows: people, places, media-related, experiences, or past events, objects, or material possessions, others. Anything that doesn't fit into the 5 categories above. Preparation method for Part 2. In Part 2, the examiner gives the candidate a topic card, and the candidate has 1 minute to prepare and make notes. After the 1 minute preparation time, the candidate is required to talk about the topic for between 1 and 2 minutes. As a rule, you are expected to speak for at least 1 minute 30 seconds. Anything less than this and your fluency score may be reduced. So, in the first 1 minute preparation, you could do these steps below to get good answers in Part 2. Step 1, Selection. Step 2, Vocabulary. Step 3, Grammar point. Step 1, Selection. The important first step is to select something that is easy to talk about. Once you have something easy to talk about, you can concentrate on language features and ways to increase your score. Selecting the right thing to talk about is quite important if you want to produce a good quality Part 2. Step 2, Vocabulary. The next step in the 1 minute preparation is to write down as many examples of uncommon vocabulary as possible. The vocabulary must be directly related to the topic. It's important to try to learn and remember uncommon vocabulary for each of the topic areas. Step 3, Grammar point. This is one of the most important considerations for your Part 2 talk. Most candidates completely ignore this aspect. Different Part 2 topic cards require different grammar. If you prepare in this way, you are focusing on language, and this will have a direct influence on score. Preparation summary. Remember, you only have 1 minute to prepare. So, you really don't have time to write sentences or phrases. The most important thing to write on your paper is probably a few vocabulary items and a grammar reminder. Example: describe a happy event in your life. Your note can be: Part 2. People. People topic cards can be a family member, a singer or musician, a famous person, someone you know who speaks another language, a successful leader who you admire, a character from a story, films, TV program, a teacher who has influenced you, a neighbor, a child you know, a friend. Compare 2 family members. A happy person who you know, someone who you have studied or worked with. In this topic, you may get the question. Example 1, describe a successful leader who you admire. You should say who the person is, what makes him or her a good leader, why you admire this person, whether this person has influenced you. Step 1, Selection. Should not choose a famous leader. Invent a leader, or manager, who you worked with. If you are still a student, say that you used to have a part-time job. Step 2, vocabulary. Work ethic. Approachable. Tyrannical. Lead by example. Step 3, grammar. Focus on the past tenses. Would, could. Used to. Use future structures. I will always remember how he used to. I will never forget about the times when he used to. Preparation notes, will be. Here is the example answer. Miss Kathy is one of the most effective leaders I have ever seen. She works harder than anybody else in the company. She inspires people to greater efforts. We will become motivated to work harder ourselves, and we have to keep up with her pace. She's also a good leader, because she's approachable. And I think, the key to her success, in my opinion, is that she leads by example, and doesn't berate her employee, but challenges them with her own work ethic. You can come to her with any problem, big or small, and she helps you to find a solution without putting you down. It's like visiting a friend. However, my previous boss, the tyrannical one, was always so angry that I didn't really feel like presenting him with any problems, or speaking to him at all really. Of course, this means those problems don't get solved. So that, I hope I will be the good leader like Kathy in the near future, to lead the good team in company. Now we can choose any people topic cards to practice. Example 2. Describe a child you know. You should say who the child is, how you know this child, what you like about this child, what things you do with this child. Step 1, selection. Choose a young relative. Step 2, vocabulary. Continues to mature. Precocious. Slew. Go bunkers. Savor. Step 3, grammar. Use a mix of past tenses. Use future structures. Preparation notes, will be. And the example answer can be. My sister's little boy is by far, and away my favorite child that I know. His name is Jack and I love him so much. Last week was his 5th birthday, and he continues to mature quickly, for a boy his age. He's also a precocious child, and can already name a slew of countries, and cities around the world, as well as solve simple math problems. He became obsessed with penguins, and still is as a matter of fact. His room is full of penguins pictures, from bed sheets to the wallpaper to stuffed animals, to t-shirts. Whenever I visit him, he likes me to take him fishing, and he goes bonkers anytime we reel in a fish, jumping up and down, and cheering. I will never forget the time when he pulled in a fish the size of his head. He was smiling ear to ear for the rest of the day. Jack is growing up fast though, so I have to savor all these wonderful moments with him. Enjoy it. Thank you so much, and see you soon.